Hello everyone, this is AetherNightmare and welcome back to Honkai Star Rail. So, we are continuing on with passages, knocking echoes in dreams. We're continuing to find Saffron and have an audience with Oronix. I had to leave this quest off last time because it was getting very late. But we are going to continue now. And depending on how much we still have to go, I could always do another quest with it. For now, since we're only about halfway through, I think I should get decent time.
It's a dead end ahead. Turn back, teacher.
Teacher. Ooh,
What?
there you are.
Aggie? No, it's an illusion.
Ooh, she actually disappeared. Okay. I thought she was gonna be there waiting for me, and then she wasn't. Don't mind me, I'm just checking for bugs. Like I said, I can always come back later, but I like to try and be thorough. Oh no, more mirrors. I feel like I've been in this room already.
Wow, this room is huge. Trinan, did you? Yeah, I saw it. Was that a warning from Oronix? What are you two whispering about? Treeby? Trinan?
Maybe she couldn't see it.
Trian can't even hear her own telecommunication.
Ooh, that's not good.
Well, never mind. Trian suddenly feels like this place is quite familiar. Oh, there's a whiff of safari in this room. It's right over there.
Assuming she means a whiff of saffron,
Trian!
rather than a literal animal butt.
Slow down.
Yeah, I feel like I've been here before. Obviously, there's treasure there. Huh. Oh, I'm probably gonna have to switch it in order to get across. Either way. Of course, let me guess. The treasure's on the other side. Oh, I gotta go all the way around. Of course I do. Elevator.
Even if separation is our fate, a futile death is not the solution.
It appeared again.
Actually, there's probably some down there, but I can... Yeah, probably only get to it like this. Oh, it actually makes stairs back down. Okay.
Right here! I summon thee, Oronix! Stir up ripples of past reverie! Something's appeared! Wait, we should read it first.
Saffron Secret Recipes. To Mr. Wincombe. For many years, Yanisopoulos has relied on the rose myrtle to obtain the boon of the gods. We have spent 5 or 6 years now digging out its roots and cutting back its branches. Now this red tree is on the verge of collapse and has long ceased to serve its purpose. Yet it still seeks to spread out its canopy and eclipse Yanisopoulos from the glorious rays. We have a secret plan and fell this tree. We just need to wait for the ceremony to make a small move, and the rose myrtle will slip and fall into the abyss. Yanisopoulos is built on a mountainside. There are more than a few cases of people who have lost their footing in its history. Of course, trees don't really lose footing, so I wonder if the tree is more of a stand-in for something else. Either like Tribby or her mother. As for the next sacred tree, we were planning on selecting another puppet. As for the rose myrtle's daughter, Trebios, I should have just read ahead. We call her Saffron for now. In my eyes, I think it would be fine to just find an excuse to off Saffron. However, Codex, the Acolyte, is extremely insistent on raising her to become the next sacred tree. She has undergone related education since she was a young girl, which would save a lot of work on our part. As for her identity as the daughter of the rose myrtle, she's still young and has not yet grown wings. If we can just keep her grounded, the power of Divine Oracle will remain tightly in our grasp. We both know that the saffron's most outstanding property is that it can be cooked in so many ways. Put in porridge, stewed, or fried. No matter how you cook it, this plant is always a delicacy. Signed, Danileo. Oh yeah, how much of that is metaphor and how much of it is just meant to be plain creepy?
Wait, this is a letter? It mentions something about saffron and Treebios? Isn't that name... Never mind that for now. Why is this letter here? And how did Trian sense it? Could it be our lost memories? Is it possible that we were already noticed by Orynyx and entered their trial? But why haven't they said a word? Orynyx has the whims of a child. Perhaps they're toying with us on purpose. Come on, this isn't the right time to be playing games.
Place the celestial orb on the tray on the right. We're gonna need the hand to do that.
Separation and death, reconciliation.
Oh, damn it.
Doesn't come easily for a mortal.
Are these visions also fragments of the past?
I hate that you can do that, sorry. I figured she would just talk if I got close enough, but no.
Treeby! Trinan! Look what I found! Is this the safari? Coming! We'll take a look. But Trian, there's nothing in here. What? It was right in the stolium. Huh? There's really nothing here. That can't be! I swear I saw it! I swear! Trian is telling the truth. It was right there. Where did it go? Trinan, Treeby, why aren't you saying anything? Trian can't seem to hear you at all. We were just lost in our thoughts. Don't worry, Trian.
Thought she should be able to hear.
What you saw was likely, Yana's hair. We must have startled it away. Okay. Could Orynyx be trying to make us falter? But why would they do that? Something feels off. Treeby, don't you think this temple is a little too quiet? What do you mean? It might just be an illusion, but Trinan wonders, is Orynyx really putting us through a trial?
It's a trial, alright. I just don't know if it's one that was granted by a god.
Still no luck finding any safari. I suppose we can do without it. Let's try to convince Orynyx.
I mean, it was probably a name to begin with.
Toss us out straight away.
It's not like literal plants he's looking for, I bet. Okay, I don't think I can get through. Oh, it gave me the books already. Which means I'm just wasting time looking for stuff. Although, wait, never mind, I can't get up here. I was originally... One way. Oh, now I can't go back. Alright, it's keeping me on a leash for the time being. I might not let me grab stuff yet. I might have to come back. That goes down. The fact that there's a door there that I can't yet go through. This is probably going to be part of somebody else's future trial. And then it'll all start to interweave together. Game design.
Whoa. Treeby, Trinan, look at this. So
I'm in doll hell.
It's really quiet in here. Do all Titans live in dark places like this?
Should I be worried about the enemies already scattered on the ground? Wait. Oh no, it's just a shiny bit. I thought it was a bug.
What's going on? Oryx disappeared?
Not long ago in Akama.
Are you saying that the black-robed swordmaster is not just tied to the Black Tide, but is also hunting for core flames everywhere?
This is the most plausible possibility. First, it has a vessel that can hold core flames. Second, I'm one of its targets. Let's start with the first premise. Its peculiar ceremonial blade can interact with a core flame, as evidenced by the pull I felt when it stabbed into my chest. I hypothesized that the blade can sense, absorb, or even retain core flames. The second premise is even more explicit. When it was engaged in fierce battle with many of us and was heavily distracted, it remained consistently focused on me. Or rather, on the Titan Circes inside me.
So it's plundering the flames. But if your argument holds up, wouldn't they be headed to Akama soon? The vortex of Genesis is full of the Titan's core flames.
Not necessarily. Let's call that person the Flame Reaver for now. If my presumption holds, that person has 3 targets. The first target is me. The second target is Oryx, who hasn't yet fallen. And the third is Akama and the Vortex of Genesis, where the core flames are housed. But I suspect Akama won't be their first target. Kefali's core flame is guarded by the Council of Elders' arcane power. And Fagusa's water curtain should be able to block out any external perceptions.
What about Thanatos and Aquila? Their core flames are yet to be restored.
The whereabouts of Thanatos remain a mystery to all. As for Aquila, can you fly?
No, I can't. Why are you asking that?
Can that Swordmaster fly?
Good point. But what if they do grow wings?
If they had wings, I wouldn't have made it out of the grove alive.
That's a relief. Anyway, since the Flame Reaver has 2 targets, we need to move fast.
With the distances between Akama, the grove, and these potential targets, I believe we should bolster our defenses and...
Bad news, Finan. Treepy is missing. The last time the 3 of them were seen was in... the Abyss of Fate.
Oryx! Are you in here?
I wonder too if he's going after Oryx first, so that way he can't get sucked into another warp hole.
No response at all. Did they foresee that we were coming and hide in the fog, or... Treeby, we should leave. This temple has other people in it. What?
The ones that were on the ground?
Huh. Listen, footsteps. Fast ones. 3 or 4 people coming this way. Come on, we need to hide. Whoever they are, we can't let them see us! Treeby, Trainin, come check this out!
Another piece of black cloth.
What's this? Trian feels like it's so familiar.
Oh great, it made copies. She's using the gate again.
Treeby?
Oh, twice.
Tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. Sometime later in the abyss of fate.
Where am I? Little Gray? Snowy? And... Wait... Where's Trian? Is she back?
We only saw the two of you collapsed on the side of the road when we arrived.
Danny and I looked around, but we couldn't find any traces of Lady Trian.
What about the black-robed swordmaster?
Blast it! Of course it's them. We were still too late. I fear something bad has happened to Orynyx's core flame.
Then Lady Trian...
She doesn't have much divine power left. We can barely sense anything.
Yeah, the four footsteps were probably us coming to the rescue, but they didn't know to run back to us. We need to go after that black-robed swordmaster. I have a bad feeling about this.
That you're both safe is already a blessing.
Oops, I thought I had an auto-scroll, I didn't.
Everyone, we must take action now. We should split into two groups. One group will stay in the abyss and meet up with Aglaya's reinforcements, then search for Trian's whereabouts. The other group will come with me to pursue the black-robed swordmaster and recover the core flame.
Because confronting him went so well last time.
Do you know where it's headed?
And now we have even less people.
I didn't get to tell you this before, but Anaxa and I already have our misgivings about the Black Tide, so we've made preparations.
I guess technically a lot less, but...
I'll tell you the details as we move. Opportunities are fleeting on the battlefield. We should hurry.
Lord Finan! Lady Treeby and Lady Trinan. I'm glad you're all right.
Did Aglaya's people get here?
Yes. Lady Aglaya already knows about the situation and sent along a message. Finan, I understand that Swordmaster is of great importance to you. But if you charge in without a plan, I fear that you won't be the only one who dies in vain.
I understand. Hatred is a hero's deadliest poison. I have no intention of fighting alone. If that Swordmaster really is related to the Black Tide, the Chrysos heirs must not take them lightly. I have indeed planned to return to the Holy City and discuss the strategy with Aglaya. We'll need all the help we can get for this encirclement.
Why don't we split up as previously discussed? Hyacinth and I will stay to regroup with the reinforcements. You go back to the Holy City with everyone else and tell Aglaya about your plan.
Trinan will stay in the abyss too. That way, both sides can communicate with each other if anything happens.
Thank you, everyone. Partner, Treeby, let's go.
Switching back to
We're
my
back,
point of view.
Aglaya.
You should have come to me first, Finan.
Aggie, there's no need to scold Snowy. Wakama is currently in grave danger.
I know. It's beyond my imagination that the only two titans humankind can still rely on fell in such quick succession. I've never seen the golden thread pulled this taut, as if it could snap at any moment.
Yeah, I wonder too if his multiplication powers were because of Onyx.
Finan, tell us your plan. Time is of the essence.
Finan accounts in Axe's discovery.
This being is not just hunting titans, but taking the core flames too?
Yes, just like the Flame Chase journey is doing. Professor Anaxa thinks the Flame Reaver's arrival is likely a sign the Black Tide has spread further.
Regardless of whether you're right, this being is still far more aggressive than we expected.
But its madness is also an opportunity for us. If its goal is the core flame, then that means us humans can lure it into a trap. Anaxa had already left the Holy City with Circe's core flame while we were on our way to the Abyss, so he can make preparations for the battlefield.
Tell me, what makes you think this won't end with us losing another core flame?
Because this time, the power from beyond the sky is also at our side. She is the key.
You gonna repair my train so I can actually fly? It's gotta be me, really. Are you sure I can do it? I have a Stellaron. Can we pass it off as a core flame? They don't know what that is, sweetie.
We need your other companion, too.
Ma'am,
He's more of a swimmer.
do you mean me?
Oh, you.
I see. Finan, that battlefield you mentioned, is it Castrum Kremnos?
Yes. I'm sure everyone remembers the astonishing miracle our partner here performed with her companion during the battle with Nikador, and how they awakened Castrum Kremnos' past. That will be the key to our victory. We will use Onyx's power to once again open a passage to the past and lure our enemy inside. Then, we'll seal the Flame Reaver in the maze of time.
Impressive. Onyx has fallen, and Yanis's divine power already belongs to Akima. Once we take back the core flame, the Swordmaster will have no means of escape. It's very clever, using the element of surprise instead of brute strength. Can you do it, little one?
I just have to throw that black coat guy into the past, and then lock them there, right? With the memory fragments, I can open a door no problem. As for the rest... Well, let's just say that Stella and I can do anything as long as we're together.
You really remind me of March. That's right, we can do anything. I guess I'm gonna make a wish.
Yeah, can you feel their fervent gazes? That's a big deal. We can't let everyone down.
Such enthusiasm. I'm glad to see you're confident. By the way, the Council of Elders declared a state of emergency when Treeby went missing. Kynus and her following have heard tell of the incident at the Grove, and are galvanizing support in secret. I fear she'll make her move before the next assembly of the citizens.
What are they plotting?
That short-sighted politician likely believes the Chrysos heirs have outlived their usefulness, and is making preparations for her next step. That ugly side of humanity is something we'll have to deal with eventually. But that's a problem for another day. I've sent Casterus ahead to the council with a message. She should be able to keep the situation under control for the time being. Finan, it is my hope that we can come to an understanding on this. We must take down the Flame Reaver in one go, and retrieve the core flame. And in doing so, grant ourselves an advantage against the Council of Elders.
Of course. You may count on me to lead the charge.
I apologize for tasking you to spearhead the plan once again, but Akima is currently beset by enemies from within and without. The situation brooks no delay, and we have precious little time to confer and discuss the plan with you. That being said, you are the key to our success, and I shall respect any decision you make.
I mean, that's kind of heavy, Aglaya. How do you know we make sure that the plan will work?
I may not be as masterful as Trian when it comes to the Century Gate, but even I can open a nice big gate if I have enough time.
As for whether we can take back the core flame, that will be up to Anaxa's capabilities.
Based on what I know of him, he can do it.
How do I guarantee my safety?
I'll be honest, we can't. But the Flame Reaver will have to step over my dead body if they wish to do you harm.
Seeing how bad he bodied all of my companions previously, that doesn't really sound super assuring, Finan. Whatever Mem's plan is, I'll follow. We reserve the right to withdraw at any time.
Mem!
Hooray! I was so worried that you'd be mad at me.
We are grateful to you for your aid, and to the rest of you as well. Now, let us be off to begin the hunt. May Kethely sharpen our gaze and grant us victory over the enemy.
Feels like we're missing someone. You mean like Dunhunt, or?
You mean Mighty?
Oh.
He's dealing with a different problem. Don't worry, that man would never miss out on this fight.
At the Vortex of Genesis in Akama.
Farewell, my dear friend. You must lead us back home.
You and I, we're both the same. We feast on strife and fear.
If you're truly capable of leading our people beyond this blood-stained fate, then prove it to me once more, Mighty Mos.
I knew you'd be here.
I heard you're about to set off on an expedition.
That's right. It's going to be a tough battle, and our destination is... turns out to be Castrum Kremnos.
Is that why you're here? To pray to the dead Nikador?
No, just the opposite. I'm here to tell you, you can entrust the front lines to us this time. You can't afford to lose your upcoming battle either.
Have you heard the story of Geocles the Mountain Breaker?
Sounds like you've spoken with Cartonas. That's the name of the legendary mountain dweller, right?
Let's have a chat before we go our separate ways. Cartonas told me that back in ancient times, the mountain dwellers lived in seclusion. They spent their days quarrying and gathering, living a simple and peaceful life away from strife. But Geocles was different. He resisted their traditional way of life, yearning for the world beyond the mountain. They're safe, but humdrum culture was like fetters around him.
He sounds a lot like you.
Yes. That is why he, too, faced the same dilemma as I do. One day, during one of Geocles' many ventures beyond the mountain, he spied a battalion of Ladonians stationed at the foot of the mountain. The Ladonians were at war with their arch-enemies, the Companions, and they used the mountain as a base to carry out guerrilla warfare operations. When Geocles, who had taught himself the common tongue, approached a soldier, he learned a shocking piece of news. Ladonians were planning to plant mines and explosives all over the mountain, and then lure their enemies within. With danger lurking with every step, the mountain dwellers' homes were no longer safe. Geocles quickly returned to his village to bring the news to his people. But...
let me guess. And they refused change and chose to put up with the situation instead.
That's right. The mountain dwellers were fearful of even the smallest change to their lifestyle, let alone leaving their home. Despite the imminent war, the elders would rather negotiate for peace instead of leaving the mountains. This made Geocles both angry and sad. But he didn't give up. If you were in his shoes, what would you have done?
They don't have enough.
On a resistance, perhaps. I'm not sure. I can't think of a solution that would make everyone happy.
I would need to know more about the situation as well. It's one thing to be told a short little passage story like that, but in an event as big as that one, I really need to know more about the players and the situation.
A solution that would make everyone happy, huh? That's how naive we are. Well, let me tell you what Geocles did. He took the mountain dweller's store of gemstones and traded them with the Ladonians for a massive amount of gunpowder. But he didn't do this to fight the Companions. Under the cover of night, he set ablaze the forest surrounding the settlement, forcing his people to flee the mountain.
Yeah, that way they'd escape, but at least they'd not be dead.
That great fire marks the beginning of mountain dweller history. Since then, their people became part of civilization, and giants became a common sight in the holy city. Meanwhile, that mountain they once lived in has turned into little more than foam inside the black tide.
But leaving their homeland also brought many mountain dwellers misfortune.
They were hunted by Kremnoans or enslaved. Indeed, that is undeniably also part of their history. But that is Geocles for you. The merits of his actions, or lack thereof, have been scrutinized by many, but historians nevertheless hail him as the Mountain Breaker. Why do you think that is? It's simply because he took action and enacted change with his own hands. He didn't try to make everyone understand him, nor did he even waste time trying to make everyone happy. He started a great fire and burned the shackles of tradition to ashes. And then forced everyone to march toward the coming of a new era.
You've made up your mind, haven't you?
I'll be leaving Akuma soon to fight the great darkness of this world, and to shoulder Nikador's destiny. So, listen well. If there comes a day when we meet again on the battlefield, and I stand opposed to the flame chase, remember to stab your sword into my back through my 10th thoracic vertebra. That's my weak spot, and the only way to kill me.
Oh, so there is one. Interesting that you have one at all, though.
You have my word.
Go now. The battlefield calls. Send that flame-thieving hyena to their death.
But that also means he actually stands with the flame chase, even if he knows he might not be able to keep his free will.
If you find yourselves with no other recourse, pray to that blade in the sky. Loudly call out the name of the new god.
That's the sound of an all-out war. Not the kind of ruckus Professor Anaxa can raise on his own. Let's hurry. The battlefield is just ahead.
And with that, we are officially in the next chapter. Nemesis Scorched by Golden Blood. There's not as many steps in this one, so I'll probably combine it with what I've been doing. Of course, I'm gonna have a little quick look around, a little quick peek. Anybody hiding?
No way. A Cognoan?
Hope he doesn't mean kids, though. It sounded like I could hear kids. Hopefully it was just the lady.
I didn't think she'd manage to send the Cognoans to assist. Brave warrior, what's the situation on the front line?
And Ackerman, why are you here?
What? Didn't Aglaya tell you? We have been instructed to assist you in trapping the Flame Reaver.
Aglaya, that vile tyrant. I spit on her name. Our king will be back soon. He'll be able to deal with you and that black robe.
Is this a pride thing, or do you know something we don't? A hoarse curse lodged in his throat, refusing to escape. Moments later, he convulsed, his head drooping, his spirit departed his body, drifting towards the abode of Thanatos.
The Cognoans really are just like their king. Rest in peace. May your glory last forever.
Well, maybe part of his story was us driving them away from this particular path to start a new life.
Did they come to fight on their own accord? Or...
I can still fight. You must become king. Nicanor is with us!
Where am I going? We take out this dude.
We can do it!
Since you're already here, why not have a meal before the leave?
Destined for oblivion.
Time to twirl! Time to twirl!
Still waters of oblivion. Reach the end of the story in
Head to
your
the
own way.
battlefield. Okay, we're about halfway through this one. It must be mostly cutscenes. Excuse you.
That sound! It pierces my ears!
Maybe something about the core flame is driving them mad.
We're almost there.
I can't see.
Well, I see him.
Once we take back the core flame, Yanis's passage will open. When that happens, you must evacuate immediately. Don't stay behind. The rest will be up to how well we work together.
But remember what Mighty said before? Cast aside all distractions once you're on the battlefield. Let's go, partner. Today, destiny shall stand with us!
Finally.
Men, so yours.
Pent in the memories of the dead! Executioner!
You sure know how to keep a man waiting.
Let's try this other way.
Any later, and I fear the Titan would have sacrificed me.
Frail child of humanity, 'tis more effort keeping you hale and whole against that blade than it is in seeking the truth of the world.
I guess those two aren't fully fused.
I choose you.
If she can still talk to me.
Free will, or was it fate?
Defeating Long Shattered Vessel, didn't get to see that. Let me take a look at you. Each stack reduces damage receiving by 5%. One stack lost after one Long Shattered Vessel is defeated. I don't know what Shattered Vessel is. Calamity Power. Long Shattered Vessel, there we go. Self-destruct, unremovable. When the summoner is defeated, the summoned object will also be defeated. Utility, resist crowd control debuffs. When Flame Reaver of the Deepest Dark uses Demise Storm or Fading Fate again, if this unit was summoned By this attack and is in the mutual sacrifice state, then this unit will attack together with Flame Reaver out of the deepest dark. Okay. So it might not be able to be hit with status effects? A nameless swordmaster who came with the Black Tide and is hunting down the Titan's core flames. None know of their true identity. Their power is incredible and their swordplay is nigh impeccable. With their sword, madness and obsession entwine, when leading to the fall of the Grove of Epiphany and Dias Esley. Okay. Trying to take note of what the pattern on the sword actually is. Oh, I should have done a multi-hit. Weak to ice, lightning, and quantum. Which means good news for me. Just trying to remember what this does. Grants a mem charge. Yeah, really neat is this.
I'm honored, but since you're already here, why not have a meal before you leave?
Get my
This is being in sync.
buffs and debuffs going.
It's just a twin
Honored to meet you.
massage.
Time to twirl.
How about letting the enemy
Rita alone is enough to really take care of those. You know what, I'm just gonna do single target because I feel like he's
Quiet. I know what I'm doing.
he might really go for me in the next round, so I'll keep my charges.
How embarrassing.
You didn't come down from the sky?
The city is mine anyway. So why shouldn't I go through the front door?
Dang, nothing keeps this thing down, does it?
Minion of the Black Tide. I, King of the Kremnoan Legion, will be your opponent today.
Long time no see, Mikador.
Then burn my dynasty, excuse me, and offer these ashes to Strife. Alright, so this is gonna be our bonus, I guess.
Time to twirl.
We get the opportunity to occasionally use his ability. Question is, does it think I need it?
Trust me. We can do anything.
Okay, we're at 100%. We don't need to restore at the moment, though.
Another journey begins. Destined for oblivion.
Oh, I should have done. I'm dumb. Should have
I'm
saved
honored
those.
by your
Oh,
presence.
never mind.
Since you're already here,
They,
why not have a
appear to
meal
be a little
before you
persistent.
Do you know who I am? This big diamond! It's all yours! Time to twirl!
leave? It's better to make no move.
I could potentially take him out in one go if I do this.
I weep for the departed.
I'll go slow, just in case there's dialogue. Alright, goodbye.
It's time to end this.
Wait, do you guys have the same sword?
strife, heed my call. I am the Lance of Fury. The agony this world needs. Witness this. A new god has come to Castrum Cognos.
Honey, isn't that scratch in your eyes?
Look! The warriors have returned!
Yeah, the symbol on the sword looked really similar to Finan's.
But are the rumors true? Has Oryx fallen?
But that's only what I was able to see of it. Sort of that spiky sun symbol with like a round center.
It's as the Council of Elders said. We face a dangerous threat. Yet the Chrysos heirs are only inciting more chaos. They don't care about the people's safety.
They really gave the core flame of strife to a Kremnoan at the end.
What a noisy crowd.
This, doesn't feel right.
Yeah, and this Kremnoan's the only reason you're here.
Probably because Oryx is gone. Oryx was a generous titan in the eyes of the people. They graced us with miracles, allowing humanity to reap many a convenience from the past.
What they don't know is that the Titan didn't do all of that of its own volition.
Yeah, maybe it's not the same symbol just because I'm looking at the pattern on his back. But it is really similar.
Regardless, the Titan has fallen, and we must surrender Oryx's core flame.
A meeting with that woman again so soon? I just can't catch a break.
Professor Anaxa, why don't you find someplace to rest first? Matters that require Aglaya's attention are piling up. You two meeting again will, forgive my honesty, only distract her. Just try to stay on your best behavior, if you know what I mean.
That's not up to me, I'm afraid. I've been trapped in her prison the moment I set foot in this holy city. The price of having a Titan living in my head, I suppose.
He's saying just stay out of her chamber and go get lunch or something.
Don't worry, I don't want trouble either.
He and Aglaya don't get along, huh? Professor's kind of eccentric.
They have differences in ideology. Alright, I suppose that's putting it lightly. Don't worry, you'll figure out the intricacies of these relationships sooner or later.
I'm sure you don't need my help handling Oryx's core flame. So I'll be off. I have some personal matters to attend to.
Yeah, because Mighty has sort of a similar symbol on him, but his are asymmetrical, which in turn symbolizes more of a flame pattern, whereas Finance is more like a mix between a sun, possibly a moon.
It somehow feels like D has closed himself off even more after he completed his trial.
Yeah, a lot has happened in the past few days. You've been lost in thought for a while now too, Treeby. Did Trinon bring news?
Yes. She has found Trian. She was at the bottom of the valley outside the temple, but that's where the good news ends.
I'm sorry.
It's alright. They also found someone else besides Trian. He was no better than a corpse when Trinan and Hyacinth arrived. He had suffered more cuts than could be counted and leaped off a cliff from a great height, all to free Trian's body from the clutches of the black-robed swordmaster.
Wait, who is he?
What a brave soul. Do we know who he is?
Yes. It's Krateros.
Not long ago.
Stop!
Yeah, because he has a distinct moon pattern. I can't see the side of the sword from here, but the sword almost looked like it had a sun pattern.
If you want this girl dead, you'll have to kill me first.
How ludicrous. Your body made of flesh and blood.
Yeah, right there.
Will not survive more than a single strike from me.
Finance is
Valorous
enclosed,
death
but
before glorious return. As a Kremnoan, I know not the fear of death.
She's lost her divinity. I have no interest in an empty shell.
yeah, his the circle doesn't go all the way around, giving it the impression of a crescent moon, whereas Finance is very clearly meant to be a sun, so maybe they're opposites?
But answer me this, child of strife. Why do you raise your shield for her?
As the leader of the God Shield Brigade's elite, I protected the king against the Black Tide with this very shield. And I've done this over and over, hundreds and thousands of times. A pathetic killer like you could never understand the weight it bears.
Pity. And crumble like rusted iron.
Good. Supreme glory shall be mine, as I indulge in the libations and incense offered by my descendants. Come, let us fight! For Kremnos! For my king! For Amphorius!
I don't know if she aged any further back, but... Is she comatose or dead? Please tell us.
We foresaw this cruel parting 1,000 years ago. Today is but a reminder of that bitter taste.
Oh, she's dead, isn't she?
But Lady Aglaya, I don't understand. It wasn't life itself that Lady Trian lost. Why does she look like she really turned into a doll?
Oh wait, what?
I don't understand.
I thought this was like a little
Don't be
Memoria
sad, Hyacinth.
ceremony, excuse me.
Trian has used up her borrowed time from Yanis, that's all. Her spirit is now riding the west wind, flying ahead to a world free of sorrow.
If a world like that truly exists.
I wonder when her soul split if maybe she put some of them into dolls. And so that's all that remains of her body afterwards. It's the way she described it, that does sound like death.
Does that mean everyone from the Grove is there too?
It exists, Hyacinth. Do you not remember? The prophecy that guides the Chrysos heirs is the voice of Kefili before it fell silent. It loves all of its creations dearly, and would never bear to lead us astray with lies. What about the Kremnoan veteran? How is he doing?
The Twilight Courtyard has done all we can. Even so, we've only managed to keep him from breathing his last. I had to use the Sky Priest's techniques to help him to walk again. But if light ever disappears from Akama for good... No. Let's hope that never happens.
This is already nothing short of miraculous. When we found Kraudros, he was no better than a corpse.
The parting hour is upon us. Yet the golden thread runs slack. The heroes have returned with their spoils. Everyone, please take this opportunity to rest and prepare for what awaits us. You've returned unscathed and brought tidings of triumph. Truly a moment worthy of celebration.
It kinda makes me wonder, though, if Miday stayed behind in his own kingdom. Now that he's claimed the crown. Core Flame of Time, the fallen soul of Orynyx, the Time Titan. The Core Flame urgently awaits to return to its place, and its demigod will assume the authority of the vacant station after completing the trial. Okay, let me just... Warrior, why do you question thy origins?
It's incredible to think that we returned Nigador's core flame not so long ago. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that you and your friend's arrival has melted the glaciers of history.
That's what trailblazing is. Where a nameless goes, trouble follows. We've melted a real glacier before.
You could say this is the true face of history. It slumbered for 1,000 years, only to awaken for this one moment. Alas, now is not the time for a study of history. I do not see a Naxa around. Was this under your instructions, Finan?
Yes, it just seems much more efficient than letting you two go at it endlessly.
A rash decision. After all, he still bears a core flame with him.
He basically is pointing at both of you like, stop fighting.
I do concur with your assessment of efficiency, though. Now, let us table the issue concerning him for the moment. The more urgent matter is the core flame of Orynyx.
Yeah, efficiency, sure, sweetie.
The Chrysos heirs had initially crafted a plan regarding the order to return the core flames. For titans like Orynyx and Circes, who harbor no intentions of harming humanity, our strategy entailed assuming their divinity only at the very end. But this unforeseen turn of events has thrown everything into disarray.
If we don't return the core flames to the vortex of Genesis, and we leave the Titan's divine positions vacant, we can't even begin to imagine the disaster that would follow. But the most pressing issue at hand is that we haven't found the Chrysos heir capable of bearing Orynyx's divinity.
I mean, don't I have part of it?
Finan, Castrus, Mighty, and Hyacinth. Treepy and I devoted a millennium scouring the world, only to find these few people. Only a chosen few possess the capacity to assume divinity, the elite among the Chrysos heirs. We would never hastily extend our invitation without first verifying their potential to bear such power. Yet, we cannot compel anyone into divinity, as it would be no different from sentencing them to the gallows.
Truly a dilemma.
Yeah. How about letting her give it a try?
Oh yeah, let's just randomly become a god. I mean, technically I already have a Stellaron in me, but I've been waiting for someone to say that, friend. So you're okay with sentencing me to the gallows? The owner isn't liable for their pet's words. I'm serious. You're special to Euphorius, and we all know that. Now, about Orynyx. Isn't the one who projected me into this world and granted me this body, that baby titan, even more capricious than a child? Meanwhile, somewhere in the Memorial Palace.
I see the Reaper has forsaken you too, teacher.
It simply put my life in the hands of the Twilight Courtyard. That priest girl's medical talents are truly exceptional.
Okay, he is still here.
She might be far from the ordinary girl we envisioned. But this isn't about me, Mighty Mos. I saw it. You finally decided to embrace your own fate.
Power of strife is stirring a tempest within me as we speak. My bones have turned into steel. My blood is seething in a blaze. Past rulers of Kremnos could only aspire to this might, yet I have merged with it. I've made history, and henceforth divinity and kingship shall coexist as one.
Indeed. You've realized the aspirations of every former king of Kremnos. And now, you can at last bring our people home and reforge the glory of Kremnos.
He said he took on the Titan, he didn't necessarily say...
Unfortunately, I harbor no such desire.
He never said he wanted to go with family tradition.
What do you mean by that?
Over 2 millennia past, devotees of Nikador's might banded together beneath their feet and erected a city of their own. Ever since then, Kremnoans have served as the blades wielded by the god of war, following the Titan's path in its conquest. Yet, gazing upon our history through the lens of my newfound divinity, I now see it with unprecedented clarity. This history is sheer absurdity and inferiority. People surge onto the battlefield like ants, plundering and slaying for their own greed, only to be trampled upon like ants. The city and the beliefs that Kremnoans hold so dearly, alongside the supposed tradition, mere anthills that can be crushed with a single touch in the eyes of the Titan.
You! Are you trying to strip Kremnoans of the pride we've amassed over thousands of years with mere words?
That pride holds little significance, Krateros. Now that I've assumed the divinity of strife, my next step will be to renounce the title of king.
No. No!
Convey my message to every Kremnoan. This is an order.
Do not do this, miHoYo. I beg you.
Our history commenced in the year 2506 of the Light Calendar, concluded in the year 4931. I, miHoYo, last king of Castrum Kremnos, son of Gorgo, do hereby proclaim the Kremnoan dynasty comes to an official close today.
You have killed us.
And yet you're still here.
Killed us all.
No. I am granting you a new beginning.
What is this?
My mother's signet ring. It served as a symbol of kingship, and I now imbue it with a fresh significance. Take it, and rally those who have lost their identities. Convey the words of miHoYo, now ascended to divinity. You no longer need to chase fleeting honors or face death on the battlefield as if it were your sole destination. However, you must adapt to fit into the city you once observed with indifferent eyes. A cruel fate awaits Amphorius. No matter how illustrious a dynasty may seem, it crumbles to rubble and gravel before formidable foes. Yet, you shall tread the only path out, one that leads to a brand new world at its end.
Why task me with being your messenger? Why not explain all this to them yourself?
Because only humans can guide the path to be trodden by humans. It's not the lot of humans who crave the power of gods and spiral into madness for it, but humans who stand ready to raise their shields high to protect the lives behind them.
I failed to save that child.
That is irrelevant. As demigods, they have long been prepared for it. What truly matters is that you showed up there and shielded her.
Also, she technically wasn't a
The one who
child.
persuaded Aglaya to set me free that night. Was that you, Mighty Mos?
Yes.
She's not one to easily make a concession. What did you offer her?
I staked my mother's name to guarantee the integrity of your soul to her. And I promised her that I would dedicate all I have to the Flame Chase journey.
And what is next, Mighty Mos? Where will you be headed now?
To the place where I belong, to fulfill my promise. The madness that has plagued Nikador and the darkness that has consumed Amphorius. It's now my turn to fight against it.
Strife still exists. We've just got a
There are
different
some
enemy.
people to meet with before I leave. Let's go.
Okay, hunt for the divine. And point of view switch to Mighty Mos, who we apparently can add to team. Which, there we go. Forget what your deal is. Team full, yeah, no kidding.
And what is next, Mighty Mos? Where will you be headed now?
Okay, let's see. For paths, that will take us all the way back. Way over there. Let's not get too close. But for now, this is probably a good spot to leave off for this part, since we have concluded technically 2 chapters. So even though it was a shorter video, like I said, they kind of bled into one another. So for now, thank you so much to everyone who has joined. Sorry if sometimes if it's like a lot of story, I don't have a bunch to commentate on because I'm just taking it in as much as everyone else. But like and subscribe if you want to see more Honkai Star Rail, and I hope to see you all in future videos. Bye bye!